Okay, okay. Um, let's see. We're gonna play around. That's pretty cool. They got all these different things. Hmm. Okay. Let me kind of just put that right there. Okay. Hopefully, you guys can see me. I. Wait. This is okay. There we go. I'm not outside today. It is cold. How it's raining. It's getting to the cold season. I don't have heat. I mean, well, I do have heat, but I don't because it does run up the bill. And I'm a hot mess today. Icky day, whatever. I'm around the house. So I had to make myself look somewhat decent. As you can see by the title of this video, Racist Against Her Own, Interracial Experience. And exactly what it is that I'm going to be going into. If you guys don't know, there is a video already that's being viral. I would imagine I haven't heard anybody really talk about the episode. I don't know if the episode is out fully. And I'm talking about the black chick that's racist against her own people, who she thinks she is white. And I'm going to be going into this a bit differently. I'm going to try to touch on certain things as much as I can. And as you know, this girl's from Dr. Phil. So yeah. And I know a lot of times when people you usually see videos like this. There has been videos like this before against Black Americans, such as myself, because I am mixed. Those that already know that. We've seen videos like this, but it's usually with older men or black men that was brought up as rednecks. The way they talk, and a lot of people like to call them coons and racist against their own. And it's all really based upon, things like that. I guess with with experience, honestly, really with experience and how you were raised, the environment that you were brought up around, and how a lot of things can really come into effect over time and affect you that in ways that you may not have known. And I'm going to go out and say this, I don't care who you are. I don't care what nationality or shape you are. We're all a bit racist in some way. We all are. Regardless, you have black people that don't really, that are racist against white people, or they say, well, I'm not racist, but, I just don't like white people that much. Or, it's whatever. Or even with white people, yeah, you got racist white people. You got white people that ain't racist that may just may not care much for black people, or just like, yeah, it's whatever. Just like with the, Latino community, they don't really give a fuck for black people. Or it's whatever type of experience. Doesn't really mean they're racist, but they will say racial slurs. And then you have, even, some Latinos may not really care much for white people, or probably racist against whites, or if they're not racist against whites, they probably just don't really fuck with them, or it's whatever. Even, if you're Italian, hey, you're not going to care much for white people regardless, probably blacks or Hispanics at that. The same thing with Asian, Chinese people, they get the same way. So we're all racist. Even mixed people are racist. We're all racist in some way. We may not be full on racist, but I have clearly seen this for myself, been around it, and also been known to be saying racial shit, when I'm fucking pissed off. or being and growing up and around certain people, a certain age of older men at that who sit on the porch, those that really cuss a lot, those that really say some racist joke shit to each other, brought up around that. So I just want to point that out. Get it out there, I'm pretty sure people that see this video will probably comment something. And I'm going to say this, don't act like you probably ain't racist in your own way. Now, those of us in the black community, I'm going to say this, and look, like I said, I'm a mixed breed. Half Cherokee Indian, South African, Jamaican, Egyptian, Italian, and white. I'm even throwing a bit of Asian and Chinese in there as well, because our ancestors did breed with each other and ended up making mixed breeds or mixed race, if you will, because those of us in the black community, if you don't realize, back in really, really early slavery days, what they don't tell you about history books, it just weren't the Indians first and then blacks. No, it was Indians, blacks, and Chinese. They were brought to this country by force and sold out against their own people as well. That's a real thing. This elderly, the sick will sell out their own people, and that's what they did. They sold us out. So I guess I can begin there with this. There were times, where we were sold out. Our ancestors interbreeded within each other to become mixed breeds. And I talked about this before in a video that's on this page called The Meaning of Culture. And I talked about this and I touched on that. And I touched about it a bit briefly, but not too much. Back then, during those times from medieval ages at that, from the days of the Pilgrims, Christopher Columbus going in to the medieval ages, the Victorian age, the Western, getting a bit to the modern age, and now, especially back then, if you had a child with somebody and it turned out to be a mixed breed and somebody found out you were having interracial relations, that was a big no-no back in the days. That was really a big no-no back then. And you would get your child, really took away from you. You would do that, sometimes that child might be killed off or sold. And if you had black in you or Indian or Asian, either way, you were still considered a slave. So, you were sold, traded off, killed. The same things with the couples. They may not kill off the woman, but they're going to kill off the man, and they will, they're going to have their ways of finding out who did you have an interracial relation with in this for cause this to happen. So we're all also Asian as well, because, a lot of us in the black community, we're attracted to the Asian culture. So yeah, no one's really a percentage or part of anything. We're all racially mixed. And even a lot of rednecks, a lot of ones with the rebel flags that say a lot of the racial shit that they do. Believe it or not, a good majority, if not all of you, are going to be mixed with some Indian in you. So get the fuck over it. And there's no way I can really approach this, but this is the first half of this, kind of giving some back half history on interracial relationships, with breeding. There's going to be times where I know I'm going to raise my voice and get upset, but it's going to be me pointing out some things and give you guys some perspective on exactly why this girl the way that she is. And I know some people, that I kind of grew up with in my younger years like this, and how exactly, why they get hatred the way they do towards them. And like I said, there's a lot of things that play out in this that can ruin an experience for someone, that makes you feel ashamed of what you are, what's in your blood. That's a realistic thing. And I'm hoping Star will touch on this if he does a show about this, because I would like to get his point on this as well. So hopefully he does a show about this. Probably this weekend. I would like to see that. So that's just the back half of it, for the first part on some history. And then, you had the opening, which is letting it be known, yeah, we're all racist in some way against some other people. You know, we all are. Even you can even be racist with religion. So let's go into religion now. Religion with your beliefs, goes into a category for a lot of people on what your skin color is, your nationality, your heritage. You know, you have Jews that don't like Christians. You have Muslims that don't like Buddhists. You have Satanists that don't like Jesus worshippers. Us in the black community, yeah, it's been drilled into us for so long that our Jesus is white. A reason why a lot of black churches get bashed the way they do by outsiders from either white people, Mexicans, Chinese, doesn't matter. It's because you have those older women that holler and shout a lot in church, claiming to get the Holy Spirit. And people are looking at that. Are you nuts? That's not how you act. Oh, they're acting like a bunch of animals, heathens, or monkeys. So you would get those kind of terms. You would get that causes, back in the days, before Martin Luther King was assassinated, yeah, you had the death of those 4 girls in those churches caused by white people, because they see that. I have been to a white church before. Shit felt uncomfortable as fuck. Their chantings sounded like some Klansman shit. I don't, yeah, Klansman type, and it had like some Klansman type of chanting, it seemed like, and some Satanists to it. Came out all in white robes. Felt very uncomfortable. I was the only colored person in that church. I was brought up, as a Jehovah Witness. From there, it was being Jewish and then Christian. One of my, somebody on my family side who was actually related to one of the popes, but this person didn't get a chance to fully become a pope all the way, take the pledge and everything, because the person did pass away before it got into, I guess you could say, office. So there was that. Me, I choose the religion of Buddhism along with the beliefs of evolution, not revolution, evolution, in terms of spirituality, what I feel comfortable with. So, you have a lot of racism that plays out in religion, because a lot of wars, broke out, quote unquote, because of religion. You had a lot of um names, you know, being called, a lot of things happening because of religion as well. And you would get separated, categorized, and labeled because of your religion. And everyone likes to pair religion along with race. So whatever skin color that you are, they're gonna figure out, oh, well, your beliefs and your religion might be this, that, and the third, etc., etc., etc. And that's not always a good thing. There's still churches that get shot up that are black churches by white racist premises people, like we've been seeing. So again, some experience can go into because of religion that could cause a person to, be racist. Next is how you were brought up, which goes into your environment. You know, you have racist white people. There was a lot of heavy racism in the North, and I know a lot of us were taught this in school. The North didn't have slavery. The North is free. They love everyone. No, that's bull fucking shit. The North, if anything, was really more racist. Even had more slavery than down south. They really did. Do you do your actual research, know your actual history? They really did have that. They really had that. And honestly, the reason why you have a lot of fights that really break out from the West Coast, which went into the um the whole East Coast versus West Coast war with the rioting back then. Yeah, you had a lot of white cops killing black people. All that happened up north. You know, like in the East Coast, you have a lot of white cops that pull over black people. You have a lot of a lot of the Chinese Asian spas that draw, that shoo away black people because of some kind of experience. And most of the time, if not all the time, really, what they don't tell you is this: there's a reason why you see that. Because some of us really don't know how to act. Some of us black people don't know how to act, and we're going to judge somebody who's not us. We're going to criticize them. We're going to treat them like shit. We're not going to know how to fucking act because we get too out of control. When we get too spoiled with pedicures and mani-pedis, having someone do our nails and feet for us and hair, yeah, we like to treat them like trash underneath our feet. And then we like to steal from them if they have some of the clothing shops, which I will get into. Matter of fact, I'm going to hold on the environment part. Let's kind of go into this right now since we're talking about the North. A lot of this shit happens in the North. A lot of it happens down South as well. What goes into the reason of us not knowing how to act. Because us in the black community, we're one of the most biased, hypocritical, childish, coonish people on the face of the planet, if not this country, and particularly the US in this country. We are. We don't know what we want. We really don't. I clearly remember how the shit felt with Obama in office. We're treating this nigga like the fucking messiah. He ain't do shit for us black people. He's from Chicago. A lot of people in Chicago really spoke out now and even trying to say things then, but the media was shutting them up, saying Obama don't care about us. He ain't trying to do nothing. Obama don't really give a fuck about black people. He wants to cater to the whites. He wants to be accepted as a white person, just like Michael Jordan. I'm sorry, but that's the harsh truth. And when we see somebody of color who we want to idolize so much, we want to make them to this messiah. And the truth is, they don't care. They don't. Not about their own. You need to pay attention to that. Then there was a time. Then I remember when everyone, and this was on the news. There was protests about it. People wanted, people in the black community wanted Obama out of office. People regretted voted for him. They did. Somebody posted up some statuses. Bush versus Obama. When Bush was in office, a lot of things, stock and pay went up, especially towards the black community. But we were too blind, dumbified to really pay attention to shit. Now during that time, yeah, you had the 9/11 thing, you had the war that was still going on, just like now. And then you had the Obama part that came out and how low it dropped and how much of a low rate the black community has suffered. The same thing with Michael Jordan. Look back at the shit that he said. He said, I didn't make my shoes for black people to wear so they can kill each other over. I made my shoes for white people who appreciate shit. And we still buy Jordans because we're still catering to it. Yeah, I did a video, J/Jordans ain't a big deal. And where I'm coming from with that. Because there's times where something fucking drops. We don't know how to act. We act fucking retarded. We act stupid, dumbified. And you're wondering why Jordan said that kind of thing. There was a brand that dropped. I can't remember which brand. I think it was with the purse brand or some shit like that. The person was white. He said, I didn't make these purses for... I clearly remember his statement too, because I remember somebody talking about this. Now, it could not, I don't know if it was the full person statement who created this purse brand. He's like, I didn't make my purses for white nigger women to have their boyfriends stash weed and guns in my purse. I made it for white women who can appreciate things. Now, in that sense, in that category, with that's being said, look, females are only down to ride for you for so long doing the work until you get caught. And then they're going to leave your ass to somebody else. Because they ain't going to wait. Because they'll give you ass up in a fucking heartbeat. Real fucking talk. They'll be the trap queen for so long until the door comes out. And they'll be the switch queen / snitch queen giving your ass up to save they ass. There's an old saying. Why do 10 when I can give a friend 5? In other words, why should I do 10 years when I can give my friend 5 to 8? Let me tell everything I know. And yeah, when a lot of us nowadays, go stupid over Louis V and Gucci and Versace, we go fucking retarded as well. We've been known to kill each other over that. We've been known to do that, just like with football, basketball, right? Basketball with the NBA shit, I'm not a sports fanatic. I really don't give a fuck about sports. I really don't care about sports, none whatsoever. I can care less. I didn't grow up around sports. I didn't grow with sports. I know shit fucking about it. So the jerseys that I have in my closet, I got them because I like the color schemes. I like the color patterns. And then when I wear something, people like to shit on it. But I don't care because I don't know shit about none of these teams. I can give a fuck less. A lot of the times, Michael Jordan was the face of basketball. Every time one of these games dropped, we would buy the same thing over. Where's an example? I don't have anything I can show an example, but here's example is this. I got 2 sports games that I own for the Sega. NBA 94 and 2K 96. Right. NBA 94 It's the same game that's going to be constantly copy and paste and printed out physically over and over again, just like now. So if I want to play an NBA game, I'm going to play 94. I'm not going to go waste $70 on the rest of them that comes out, because the rest of them's the same shit that drops over, and over and over and over. So somebody's like, hey man, the NBA 2019 is out. Come play, man. This shit, man. Blah blah blah. No, I'm gonna pass. If I want to play a fucking stupid sports game, I'm gonna pop in the one from '94 that I have for the Sega. Same thing. The only difference is graphics and probably newer players and some music. But other than that, it's the same shit. And I guarantee you it is. Because if you look in your collection of your basketball games, it's going to be, you're buying the same thing over and over, wasting your money. Same thing with the 2K games. I understand sports is a big thing in the black community. Yo, I get it. I grew up around it. I never was involved with it. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care about it. You have to be able to grow beyond that. And that's what I did. If I wanted to play a 2K game, I would have popped in 96 from the Sega. I'm not going to go waste $70 each year down the line playing the same shit. And we act fucking stupid about it. We act retarded over it. We get in the fights over it. I seen people I knew grew up in school, even outside of school, fighting over this game. Like, it's a fucking football game, It really is. It's not a big deal about it. But when you take people like Colin Kaepernick, look, I even touched on this before on this channel. I forgot what it was labeled. Pretty ass long live stream. At least I think it was this channel. It could be my Jazzy Entertainment channel. I'm not quite too certain which channel it was. And with that, we're all protesting against the American flag. And when I say us, I mean people in the black community, because we see a person of a mixed race with a fro who is half black saying, he's the Messiah. Yeah, look at him kneel. Oh, the flag is racist. We still want football, though. Some riots break out. We got the black community asses beat. God damn it. And I touched on this before on this channel. Know your history. And it goes into that, and I got a bit upset in that video. But let me tell you something. Colin Kaepernick is a fucking hypocritical coon. You think he gives a fuck about the people in the black community who's saying, oh, they gonna follow my lead? Let me tell y'all something. Colin Kaepernick is not out in the NFL. He didn't leave. No, he's still signed to the NFL and on contract. They're paying him, and those also above a higher force is paying him for this shit. Paying him for this, because earlier, none of us knew who he was. His football career wasn't going nowhere until this shit happened. He's getting paid for this. Football season's about to start up. Mark my words, he's still going to be playing football, and everyone's going to be fucking bitching in the black community saying, all this shit about protesting and standing up for you still want to play football. We gonna burn your jerseys. It's because us in the black community, we're so easily brainwashed because we have to be led because we're fucking sheep. We can't think for ourselves, god damn it. And you wondering why we get our fucking asses beat by cops. And then we see this shit. Why? What is it? I think it was an NBA, and somebody from the NBA, one of the owners, saying some shit even during this time. I don't want these monkey niggers in my house partying, even though my wife is black. And she agreed with him. Not because that's probably his wife. Yeah, that has something to do with it. But we get the fucking partying at times when we wreck shit. This is going to be a long video. I can tell. This really needs to go in because I'm trying to point things out on why this girl might be racist or racist against her own with some of these things that she has experienced that can ruin to be what you are, for you to be proud of what you are. Then we see Colin Kaepernick advertise for Nike. We're all saying, fuck Nike. The same ones that said fuck Nike the next damn day, lining up at your fucking shoe store buying Nikes. The people who also still agree with it, who couldn't afford to buy Nikes, ended up getting free Nikes from famous or rich people that bought Nikes for the black community. Because we're easily fucking led. Point blank, period. Now, here's this. Right? Which I'm going with this is that we tend to paint things, those of black power, if you want to call it, the messiahs. Oh, they're gonna save us. They don't give a fuck about you. What makes you think they give a fuck? Take a look at the Black Lives Matter movement. A lot of people in the black community said, fuck Black Lives Matter, because we've seen exactly what it is, what they cared about, what they wanted to stand for, what they wanted to do. They said, we're only here when racist shit break out. Keep it real. But when racist shit break out, they didn't really march or really give a shit about that. No. Here's another thing. The hurricanes that happened, people that got flooded, they're supposed to be a cherished organization, right? For charity, try to give back. They didn't even do that. Come to find out, there are people that have videos, these Black Lives Matter movement people, right, in that business, gave to white neighborhoods that didn't need it, that weren't attacked, that weren't affected, didn't need it. They stood with Trump. Obama stood with Trump. Everyone's going to be saying this. Well, whatever the fuck whatever the fuck. Was it Hillary? No, not Hillary. Trump's wife stole Michelle's speech. No. Here's the thing. They don't write their speeches. They had people write them for them. That same speech that Michelle had, somebody else had before her and then before that person. Matter of fact, there's two videos that go into several different decades and years before Michelle Obama and Obama was even in office. The same thing with Obama. He had the same speech somebody else had before him. Same thing with Trump. All these presidents have the same speeches. No one stole shit, but we want to be so easily brainwashed and so quick to jump the broom, jump the gun, saying, you stole her speech. Video comes out. Oh my God. I don't want to believe what I'm seeing. Because we're fucking afraid of life. Afraid of the truth. Afraid. And you wonder why we get looked at like we do. Because we don't know how to fucking act. Which goes into people saying, monkeys, animals, cages, zoos, niggers. Why you had the cops killing and beating. And I went into a video about this before a couple of days ago called Brutality, which I'm giving you the first half of what you don't see in those videos. It's because we tend to pop off first because we're so indebted in our minds that cops are out to get us. Not all cops are bad, and that is also indented into our brains, into our minds, that one, age, two, our background, because yeah, there's a good majority, those that always come out, oh, well, they had a background of this. Yeah, it's true. The backgrounds do have some to play with it. Third, drugs. We're hyped up on so much shit. We're going to pop off because we don't know how to act. And that's why it happens. But they want to show you the middle and ending of somebody being painted in a bad light of who's doing the damage. Now, those that I know everyone's like, well, why are they standing around? Why didn't they help? Because one, they already know what happened in the beginning. Two, they're scared. Three, they don't want to be put in that situation because they got families and kids to look after and take care of and know, hey, they brought that upon themselves. All there is to it. Because we don't know how to calmly take calm peace to a situation and learn how to talk to an authority and give what we need to give to them in order for them to be on our side. In order for them, we may not be at the same level. Let's try to come in the middle. But instead of doing that, we want to pop off like, hey man, fuck the police, cut. Hey, fuck you, pig. Hey, let me hit this really quick. Gotta pop this. Hey. Next thing, boom. Get our asses beat on the ground. Oh, record. Hey, we're not getting involved. We already know he started it first. Let's just go to the middle. Yeah, let's take care of. Ooh. News. Well, take a look at this person's background. It's obvious that they would do this. Yeah, all that shit has something to do to play with it because we don't know how to act. We're too fucking afraid. You can't be that, and you wondering why you get stepped over. You wondering why in court. When you go to court, you wonder why the judge is harsh on most of you. One, you could have had all your court fines paid off early as hell if you just do your business rather than wait, rather than putting it off, rather than going to the club, vacation, popping fucking bottles, ignoring your kids, fucking other men, having multiple baby daddies, getting ran through like a train. Dressing bummy because then you go into presentation. How to present yourself. Gotta learn how to present yourself. Which also goes in, you don't know how to talk, you come excuses, your shit gets more expanded, or they send out the papers. Well, so and so here. No. Well, you got this time. Or lock their asses up, damn. Because you don't know how to present yourself. And we need to learn how to present ourselves. Not all of us can do it. Not all of us can do it. Not all of us can. Not all of us can do it. No. A lot of our black leaders didn't die for us to be this way. They died for us to show us what I'm telling you. From Abraham Lincoln, all right, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., all right, Eazy-E, Tupac, Biggie, James Brown, Michael Jackson, Prince. They all were telling us something. Look how they properly handled situations that they were in. They're trying to tell us, look, this is how we need to be, not what they want us to be. What they don't want us to be is smart. What they want us to be is stupid. And that's how you guys are acting. And you're wondering why this shit happens. They're ashamed. We let them people die in vain. Because we refused to listen to what they were telling us. Which also goes into now environment. I'm pretty sure this girl, her school environment was a black school. Her environment, community she was brought in was white. Her seeing a lot of these things in school, the same shit I just explained, even now, goes into one, The mother not telling her your father's black. Two, the mother saying your father's white. Three, being brought up in a white neighborhood all your life, being brought up around white people. It's gonna have that effect when you're not growing out of that circle, out of your comfort zone, trying to explore, growing and expanding beyond your point to become something more, to get knowledge, to be open minded. So you're trapped in one thing your whole life. And then you're wondering why you're one color and you're trying to be accepted by white people because in your mind you think that you're white and you have a lot of yes people around you. You know, white people, if anything, are the most reckless. Real talk. And I seen that too. You know, me as I grew up around people, different walks of life, different type of styles they had from you know, you had country, rock, pop, gothic, poor, middle class, rich, even people of different race. And since I'm a mixed breed, I never knew where I fit in that. So I was all over the place, even with the nerds. So I practically clicked with everyone. And I got experience and taste of different walks of life, even from their beliefs to their religion, um, slang and fashion. And all that over time I carried with me, which brings me the person I am today with being open minded, knowledge, fashion, going into a projective perspective, which also goes into me being biased as well. I was brought up in some pretty rough schools. Yeah, I was. Not every day is going to be like that movie. And this girl may have over exaggerated a bit too. Not every school is going to be. I think the movie was Lean on Me. I believe so. Not every school is going to be like that. I know a lot of times I like to be over exaggerated, but not every school is going to be like that. You're not going to have every day like that. You're really not. But there were times for shit like that I did see, and sadly, a lot of it was those of black communities, those of black nature, those of us who were black, and that girl may have seen shit like that. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, she did see like that, which made her over time in her young age so quick, so fast to be ashamed of her having black skin. Of her knowing that I'm black, but I really want to be white. Of her wanting to join the Klan. Because I guaranteed a lot of people she hung out with who she felt safe around were white, racist, supremacist people, or those that are part or born into the Klan. I guarantee it. And she may have talked to them on some real deep level shit and explained to them the best she can on why she doesn't like black people, why she's ashamed of being black, and why she wants to be white, and how she just broke down things the best that she could, even in deep as much as that, and where they's like, you know what, hey, we get it. Come join us. We'll take you. I brought up in one of who I don't know how her bus rides are like to school. I don't know. I'm not her. I could speak from my experience. Once upon a time, I was on. I went on the world's. I don't want to say the world's, but it was one of Warren County's, Tennessee's top horrible, dangerous buses, which was bus 83, and I had learned how to defend and fight for myself on that bus. And that bus went through some bullshit fights constantly, gang shit, real zoo monkey shit, if you will. Over time, it got better because they had to bring somebody in who was really fucking strict and set this shit straight. It was literally labeled as Maury County, Tennessee's #1 horrible bus in the state. And because of everything that adds up, is why that girl is racist against her own people, having interracial experience, what says to me she is afraid to be black. And I mean being black as in being who you are, where you came from, your ancestors were. Experience that ruined her to take pride in heritage that she might also be mixed with. Why she's uncomfortable around other black people. Why she doesn't like going to a black school. Why she likes hanging around white people. Why she doesn't like black neighborhoods. Why she likes being accepted around a lot of the racist white people. Why she wants to be, she may not be joined, she can't join the Klan, she might be a part of it in some sort. You know, why she doesn't like her mother. You know, I can really go into some shit when it comes to mothers in the black community, but I'm not going to go there. I've really known and seen some shit. And I don't know where to begin with that story. And when I mean I really seen some shit firsthand, and I'm not even part of the altercation. And one thing I'm going to say this, what goes in the hood stays in the hood. And a lot of it would make you fucking sick to your stomach. And why she says a lot of black people look the same, I know where she's getting with that. And all I can say is this, in this town in particular, there's been some talks with me and some other people of the black community who are black, you know, even those of this town. I'm gonna say is this, the movie Deliverance mixed with some wrong turn shit. You know, everything or how, you know, everything plays out, which really ruined that girl life. Because one is this experience, interracial experience. What I just broke down is why she's afraid and ashamed to be black. And a lot of people's like, well, she hates herself. No, she doesn't hate herself. Hating yourself, that's a whole different thing. I'm not going to get into that. I've been down that part before. I have also seen it as well. So that has nothing to do with this. This has something to do with the experience of being ashamed of your color, ashamed of your race, ashamed of your heritage, and ashamed of your ancestors. You have the point where the mother, you know, if you're a parent, you need to encourage your kids and take them out there and have them learn beyond what they know and what they're being exposed to, so they can grow up to be an open-minded person with the projective expective, and might end up becoming biased, but that's okay. We all are biased, just like a lot of us are hypocritical. And which goes into her being, you know, age of 14, I get it, but her being afraid to learn, to expand. Now, also goes into, yeah, a lot of us act like fucking heathens in the black community. You know, just like when you know, we don't really know how to act at times. You know, that's why a lot of black people really don't care for other black people because of that. Just like a lot of people really don't give a fuck about these march movements because the peace riots, the peace movements, every time a black person gets killed by a white cop or a white person, we have to have a stop the violence movement. But when we do that, we're inviting in negative energy with that from negative people who are in the black community that do kill their own kind. So when something like that happens, they're going there to pop off, and then we have to have something for that. So we have all these bad apples mixed in with the good ones. Now, a lot of the white people who was encouraging her to do this, leading her to do this, they're the same way. They're not knowing how to act. They're afraid to grow beyond. They're afraid to go outside their comfort zone. And they want to make their way of how things go in their world, saying to her, this is the better way. This is how we act. Again, white people do the most, but you don't hear about it. They do the most. A good percentage of people locked up in jail and prison are really white people, not black people. Not black people. And I have been around real racist white people when I was locked up several times. And I can tell you, they'll tell you the same thing. They'll break it down better than I can. And I'm not going to go all into it, but they'll say this, that a lot of the people that we see out here, like rednecks with the rebel flags, the trucks, the shit that they say them ain't real racist white people. If anything, them are stereotypes that bring bad names to the actual white supremacy who will talk, be around other people of color, and do business with them. And I have seen firsthand real racist white people beat the shit out of stereotype racist white people like we see today in these trucks. And I have seen it. Oh, and believe you me, it is not a pretty fucking sight. And they will let it be known. I talked with some, I negotiated with some, hung around some, conversated with most. They down to earth people. Everyone has an understanding. Because when you locked up, you have time to actually think and put everything that you know, and as you try to grow and develop yourself and change. And it may take people time. But again, a lot of this shit, a lot of the things that I just talked about, which caused this 14, I think, or 15-year-old girl to say the shit that she says. Because we ruin experience for others. Because we're so fucking afraid of acceptance. We're so fucking afraid of something new. Because because we're afraid to be our own person, because we all have to be sheep to be led. And it's drilled into our minds to be a certain way. And it's a sad thing to see this girl be this way. Acting. I want to say going through it. She ain't going through it being this way. It's sad. It really is a sad thing. And when she gets older, she make it. She's at one of them teenage years where she might get pregnant early, middle school age at the most, going into high school age soon, if not going into high school already at the most. And it's gonna be somebody, I guarantee you, when you go to one of them high schools. Ain't you that girl? Yeah, hey y'all, it's that girl on the Dr. Phil show. Hey y'all, hey, it's the girl from the Dr. Phil show. Hey, she don't like us. Go over there with the whites. And next thing you know, you're gonna be so stummified that one of them black dudes gonna slip their dick up in you. Fuck the shit out of you. To bring back, hey y'all, hey, I fucked the shit out of her. Yeah, this is what we did. Oh, She gonna be black now. Give birth to a child. And you gonna be ashamed because you had sex with somebody of your color. And in your mind, you still being white. And you probably gonna give her that kid for adoption. Or people gonna look at you in this category if that had, that, or this part right here, which is side B, another what if. Hey y'all, hey, it's that girl for the Dr. Phil show. Hey, she don't like us. No, go over there with the whites. Go over there. Hey, girl, come here. You know they don't like you, but that's okay. You got us. Go get you some white meat in you. You're gonna have a mixed child. I hate to see how that's gonna turn out for you. Oh, I would hate to see that. How that would turn out for you. I'm afraid for the fucking child. She's one of them that don't need to have a kid. At all. Like I said, I'm open-minded. I'm projective. And I'm also biased. And this is my projective bias side coming out in this right here. If your kid come out mixed, if you hook up with a white person, ain't nothing wrong with that. But some people don't need to be mothers, and she's one of them. Because of her interracial experience, what caused her to be this way, because she might get a fucking abortion. Regardless, she gets fucked by somebody black or white and has a child because of this. Or she gives birth. Guess what? You probably won't give it up for adoption. Or you're gonna brainwash the mixed child or the black child, either or, to be how you are and saying you really white. And let me pause here, there's a lot of different shades of type of black people. Why do you think they call us colored people for a reason? Look at my skin tone. I've seen people white, regular white, who are black, who are actually black with the nappy hair and everything. And I've seen those white like paper, like a ghost. So that's why they call us colored people, because we come in all shades of color. I'd hate to see this girl when she gets a license driving. She's in a white community now. I get that. I don't want to go too much farther. It's going into an hour video. But she's driving through a white community. I think one of them old white bitches gonna call the cops. See you stop at your house, park in your, where you live at. Call the cops. Cops gonna show up. They're gonna be like, well, you're gonna have a white racist fat bitch. All the cops. She gonna see you driving in this white neighborhood where you stay at. May not even know that you stay there. She gonna call the cops. She gonna come out of her house. You don't belong here, nigga. You don't belong. I'm calling the cops. You don't belong. You gonna break into the house. Oh, she gonna break in. Watch. You gonna react. The black side gonna follow. Man, I'm getting your ass shot. Probably reach for your license. Man, still end up getting your ass shot. You're gonna cry, or if it don't, depending on how it goes, you're going to probably talk white. You're gonna talk to her, explain to her, approach to her in a calm, peaceful manner, white manner. She gonna get scared. Oh, it's gonna make it look bad on your end when the cops pull up. I'm gonna talk to the cops. No. I stayed there. Here's everything. They're gonna look into it. All right. When the day comes, there's gonna be a video that you're gonna make talking about your experience. And you gonna be like that one guy in that airport. They treated me like a black person. No! Yeah. That's what's gonna happen. Guarantee it. Oh, I guarantee it. So yeah, a lot of this, what I just said in this hour video, has a lot to do with why this girl the way that she is. And especially when it gets older, oh, it's going to affect her even more to where I guarantee you it's going to cause to the brain, and I hate this for this to happen, but it's going to happen. Probably suicide. Probably. So yeah. You know, I hate for this to happen, but again, I wanted to give both sides of the doubt. But the sad part is that yeah, us as black people community, we do shit like this to ruin this girl's life. Why she hates being black, why she's hates being what she is, why she hates and afraid and ashamed of her what she is, of her, where she comes from, her ancestors, her heritage, probably even her religion, what drove her to want to go join the Klan to be white. What drove her to want to bleach her skin. Also, even the white half, we also to blame. Because we doing the same fucking shit, if not more, brainwashing this girl to set her up for fucking failure in the future when she gets in high school. She might get some white dick, might get black dick in her, end up get pregnant again. She might get a fucking divorce, put the kid up for adoption, or brainwash the child. Either or, depending how the child may come out, mixed or not. Later on, when she gets a driver's license, we setting this girl up to get killed in a white suburb community where she stays at. Because somebody gonna see her and say, you don't belong here, you don't blend in, you stick out. Looks like you're breaking in. Hey, I'm gonna come outside, say some shit. She's gonna approach him in a white and calm manner, or how she was taught, things that she observed, things that she took in from her white surroundings. And somebody who was white is gonna look at that like you gonna approach her to hurt her, and the cops may fucking shoot you, or no, they will shoot you, probably end up leaving you dead. And if not, you'll survive, and it's just gonna come out, oh well, she did live here. You're gonna move out, it's gonna cause you to move, and then you're gonna make a fucking interview. And then you're gonna be like that one white guy in the airport, they treated me like a white person. And now I know how it feels like to be black. I know what they go through. Then you're going to want to stand up for black people. You're going to want to do the whole black movement. Black Lives Matter, shit like that. So, yeah. I can see why she's racist against her own. I can also see why she wants to be white, why she thinks she's white. And I can also see why the experience that this girl has seen in her 15 years being on Earth, what ruined it for her. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. I also know what's going to happen to her later on in the future. I can already see this shit. It ain't going to be pretty. It won't be pretty. Guarantee it. Same thing goes for us. Same thing goes for the white side, black side. I'm fucking both. I'm mixed. So watch what I'm about to say. Us as black people, we need to actually separate the bad apples from the good apples. We need to learn how to grow and expand beyond our knowledge. We need to learn how to approach things better. With white people, we need to actually stop brainwashing, putting shit in out there that ain't how it needs to be. We need to also learn how to act. We need to also learn how to be calm and approach things in a manner to where this shit won't escalate like it did. And knowing if somebody that comes to you that's black, like this girl is, what this girl going through, you need to get, not, I would say get help, but help may not be the thing. What she needs, she may need somebody that talks to her, sit her down, talks to her, give her some examples like, look, you don't want to be white. Not all white people are going to be like you think. Break shit down to her. Let her observe and experience that part of why it's not okay to be white either. And if she go, and if somebody black that sees this, just do the same thing, man. You know, sit down, talk to her. And in the end, if you feel like this girl may need some kind of help, get her help, because it's going to either cause her to get killed from being shot from a white cop or suicide attempt. And this is a girl, to where I'm about to say to all guys, don't be trying to fuck this chick when you see her either, because of this. This is a person who you do not want to have a seed with. You want to save a future child's life not being born by this woman. Because I already guarantee you, I actually seen shit like this. I have even heard about it. When girls like this happen, the child doesn't get a chance to be born because they get an abortion, they put up for adoption, or they brainwash the child. And I know a chick like this. I'm not gonna say the name. She's fine and everything. I wouldn't mind fucking the shit out of her. She's afraid of being black. I mean, she cries because she wants a child. By all means, the only reason why a lot of people want to holler at her is, one, yeah, she known for actually being a little fucking hoe. I talked to her several times. But damn it, this is a bit too much at times. Where they say, you know what, I gotta kind of steer away. But yeah, the only thing I'm really trying to do, hey, come over, meet, let me slide some of this dick up in. That's it. I ain't trying to be, I just want to fuck you. Because this, even right now, this girl fuckable. Her pussy's fucking good size fat. Her ass is nice. Yeah, she can get fucked. But she's just like this girl. And again, women like this, people like this, don't matter if it's a woman or a guy, white or black, you see something like this, talk to them, man. Talk to them. See where their mind's at. See why they want to be this way. See why they are the way that they are. Show them from firsthand experience on why you may not want to be what you want to be. Because it's not going to be what you may think it is or what it seems to be. And if you feel like it's going to drive this girl to hurt herself in some way, get her help. Get her help. But this is a woman, later on in life, it's not going to end well for her, man. She's going to get shot by a white cop because in the white neighborhood that she lives in. She's going to either cause attempt at suicide. And if again, this is a person you don't want to have a kid with, because again, abortion, adoption, or brainwashing. This is a type of person you do not want to have a seed with. You're going to be saving a child's life. So yeah, I hope people understand not just where I'm coming from with this, but why this girl is the way that she is. And you wonder why black people get bad, why we get treated the way we do, why we get looked at the way we do. So, yeah, I'm out. Peace.